Good evening and welcome to the Board of Education meeting being held on Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. I'm calling the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. Can we please call the roll?
Mrs. Arvanites?
Here.
Mrs. Assef?
Here.
Mrs. Hostler?
Here.
Mrs. Troutman?
Here.
Dr. Henry?
Here.
Mrs. Slawinski?
Here.
Mr. Bresnahan?
We have 6 board members present and 1 board member absent. Can we have a motion to go into closed session?
Before. Okay, I move that the board go into closed session for the reasons of personnel report, financial reports, FOIA.
No.
So go to 2.
Oh, gotcha, sorry. Excuse me.
Redo your motion.
Yeah. I move that the board move to go into closed session for the reasons of A, litigation when an action against affecting or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court of or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. 5 ILCS 122C11. B, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. 5 ILCS 122C1. And C, discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by Section 2.065 ILCS 122C21.
I'll second. Motion made by Mrs. Assef, second by Ms. Arvanites. Can we please call the roll?
Mrs. Assef?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanites?
Yes?
Mrs. Slawinski?
Yes.
Mrs. Hostler?
Yes.
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes.
Dr. Henry?
Yes.
Mr. Bresnahan?
6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. Motion passes. The board will now move into closed session. Welcome to the Board of Education meeting. Today is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. The board has been in closed session for the items listed on the agenda since 5:30 p.m. We have 6 board members present and 1 board member absent at this time. I ask that we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, thank you. We will start our meeting today by recognizing our spotlights and recognitions. Thank you for those of you that are here to be awarded tonight. The first item under spotlight and recognitions is the FCCLA National Award. So if you're here to be honored for that, please step forward.
Introduce myself. I'm Wendy Albert. I'm one of the Family and Consumer Science teachers at York. I would like to thank Dr. Campbell and the school board for the opportunity to recognize our FCCLA national competitors. I'd also like to thank everyone who supported our students throughout the past year, from our building administration to our support staff, our FCCLA parents, as well as the other FCS teachers at York. Just to give a little background about the National Leadership Conference and competitions that took place in Orlando, Florida this past summer. We had 5 outstanding young women who represented York High School and Elmhurst District 205 enthusiastically and professionally as they attended conference sessions, leadership activities, and of course participated in FCCLA Star Event competitions. We're excited that Alice could be with us this evening. Madeline Valesky, Madeline Brooks, Mackenzie Zapanik, and April Vero have already headed off to college. At the national level, over 4,300 students participated in STAR events this past summer. STAR stands for Students Taking Action with Recognition. These events recognize participants who demonstrate their knowledge, skills, and abilities to actively identify an issue that concerns either families, careers, or communities, research the topic, and then implement a project to achieve positive results. In the Repurpose and Redesign competition, Maddie Valesky impressed the judges with a deeply personal and creative project that they absolutely loved. Using recycled materials, she designed and constructed an entirely new fashion garment with a special sentimental touch. She repurposed her grandmother's wedding dress, carefully dyeing the fabric, deconstructing the original dress, and then transforming it into a completely new gown that she proudly wore to her graduation. Her project showcased exceptional fashion design and construction skills paired with a comprehensive presentation and display that documented the entire process from start to finish. She was evaluated on everything from the garment construction, the use of the recycled materials, presentation, as well as the business aspects that went into that. And Maddie earned a gold medal for her award. In the Say Yes to FCS competition, Maddie Brooks explored the field of family and consumer science education through classroom observations, educator interviews, the development and teaching of her own lessons, and she was able to help us bring some improvements and new exciting activities to our measuring and functions of ingredients lessons that we do in our baking and pastry class. As she taught those lessons, she also gained an understanding of what it's like to be an FCS educator and ignited her passion for becoming a future educator. We congratulate Maddie Brooks on earning a silver medal, and we're also especially proud of her because she has demonstrated her commitment to becoming a future family and consumer science educator and was honored on stage during the signing ceremony at Nationals. So congratulations to Maddie. And then last but not least, our 3 students, Alice, Mackenzie, and April, competed Alice. Mackenzie and April competed in the event management competition. In this event, students prepare a portfolio of materials for an event that they ultimately must carry out before the national competition. The girls used our La Brigade Etheria dinners to showcase their skills for designing menus, planning and preparing event documents, managing event preparations and service, and then ultimately delivering exceptional cuisine and service through a fine dining dinner experience in our student restaurant. Not only were the Etheria dinners a huge success at York, but the girls brought home gold medals, and they also earned 3rd place overall in the nation, and were honored on stage at the Star Recognition ceremony. So congratulations to Alice, and Mackenzie, and April. We're so proud of all of our students as they demonstrated their passion for and technical skills related to family and consumer science through their FCCLA accomplishments this year.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm so happy that our students get to explore all these different opportunities as a part of their school day, and then a possible career path or college path or something that they just love to do, and get to compete in that area and maybe, you know, go on to continue this as a hobby or whatever you'd like. So it's really nice that we have all these opportunities, and I'm so thankful to our staff who offer them these opportunities as well. I'm just going to read the proclamation. Whereas Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America provides students across the nation with the opportunity to develop leadership skills, demonstrate career readiness, and showcase their talents in competitive events that prepare them for success in college, careers, and life. And whereas at the 2025 FCCLA National Leadership Conference, held in front of thousands of students, educators, and industry professionals from across the country, all participating students from the Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 earned medals for their outstanding performances, demonstrating the high level of preparation, talent, and commitment that define our school community. And whereas Madeline Brooks earned a silver medal in Say Yes to FCS Education, the event management team of Alice Moyle, Mackenzie Sapanic, and April Verow earned a gold medal in their category and placed 3rd overall in the nation, and Madeline Valesky earned a gold medal in repurpose and redesign, showcasing exceptional creativity and skill. And whereas these achievements reflect not only the students' personal dedication, but also the support and guidance of their teachers, families, and peers, and exemplify the values of excellence, leadership, and service promoted by FCCLA. Now, be it resolved that the Elmhurst 205 Board of Education proudly recognizes and congratulates these outstanding students for their remarkable accomplishments at the 2025 FCCLA National Leadership Conference and commends them for representing their schools, community, and state with distinction on the national stage. Congratulations.
I got it. Thank you. Next up, we have girls water polo. If you are here for girls water polo, come on up. It is, isn't it?
You want to go first?
Are we getting a 2-for-1? This is great.
Yeah, Alice, don't go anywhere. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Rob Wagner. I'm the assistant principal for athletics, and what a year we had in athletics last year, and we're going to celebrate 2 of our teams tonight with girls water polo and boys water polo. Coach Giuliani is the head girls water polo coach. He could not make it here tonight, so he asked me to step in and say a few words. He apologizes for not being here tonight to celebrate with the girls, but just know that he's here in spirit. The 2025 York Girls Water Polo team was special to win a state trophy and consistently be one of the best teams in the state of Illinois is a huge accomplishment that everyone should be extremely proud of. It didn't come free. These girls worked extremely hard and truly loved the sport of water polo to a degree that can only be described as true passion. They endured difficult practices, grueling games, early mornings in order to be one of the best in state. While their work ethic is amazing, Coach Giuliani is more impressed with the family that these girls have built. As a coach, having your athletes truly enjoy each other's company makes my job so much more enjoyable. The 2025 team will go down in history as one of the best York teams that he has ever seen. He is confident that we have a lot more trophies in our future. Go Dukes. And tonight, we have in front of you, of course, all of you know Alice Moyle, Emily Johnson, Tessa Schultz, and Maya Check. So congratulations, girls.
Hi, ladies. I have to say, I started becoming a little obsessed with girls water polo when I coached basketball like a few years ago. All of a sudden, basketball girls were leaving basketball to play water polo. And I was like, what is going on here? So I have you starred on my NFHS account. And I watch you guys play all the time. And I also, I remember in the 21, 22, because when I become obsessed, then I go down a rabbit hole. So I pulled up the notes, right? You were ranked in 21-22 season 8th in Illinois. And this past year, 3rd. Wow. And then look at it nationally. Nationally, 21-22, you were 15th. And this year, nationally, 6th. I mean, it's so amazing, the progress you guys have made. And like I said, I'm obsessed, and I'm going to keep watching and keep rooting you on. And I know that with the support of the amazing coaches and the athletic department and the families and this community, I know you guys are going to keep doing amazing things. So thank you so much. Whereas the York High School girls water polo team completed a remarkable 2025 season, marked by determination, skill, and an unwavering drive to compete at the highest level. And whereas the Dukes battled through a demanding schedule and a highly competitive postseason to earn a spot among the final 4 teams in the IHSA Girls Water Polo State Tournament. And whereas throughout their playoff run, the team showcased remarkable endurance, sharp decision-making, and a relentless will to compete, demonstrating the maturity and confidence gained over the course of the season. And whereas on May 24th, 2025, York competed with heart and intensity in the state's 3rd place game, ultimately securing a 4th place finish, a testament to the team's resilience, competitive spirit, and pride in representing their school. And whereas this achievement was made possible through the leadership of the coaching staff, the dedication of the athletes, and the steadfast encouragement from families, classmates, and the broader Elmhurst community. And whereas the girls' water polo team season serves as an example of perseverance, sportsmanship, and the rewards of collective effort, inspiring younger athletes and bringing recognition to York High School and Elmhurst Community Unit District 205. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Elmhurst Community Unit District School District 205 Board of Education congratulates the 2025 York High School girls water polo team on their 4th place finish at the IHSA State Tournament and commends them for their dedication, teamwork, and the pride that they have brought to their school and community. Thank you, ladies. Don't move, don't move, don't move. This is our favorite part of the night, so we like to linger.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comments? No? Okay. lucked out on a 2-for-1 night. Nice job, congratulations. Way to go, you guys are awesome. I hope you're back next year again. Congratulations. Thank you. Nice job, ladies, and thank you to their parents for those early morning practices and all of the commitment and support that you've given your children. Next up, we have boys water polo.
All right, hello. My name is Brian Drum, and I'm the head boys water polo coach at York. I'd like to thank the district administration and the Board of Education for recognizing us tonight. I'd also like to thank our athletic director, Rob Wagner, for his support that he continuously gives all year long, really. Thank you to our families, many of whom are here. My assistant coaches, our amazing coaching staff, and then most importantly, thank you and congratulations to these boys. This is probably the best team that we've ever had at York High School, certainly the highest finish. They finished third place at the IHSA state tournament. This is after being ranked number 2 or number 3 all year. We, over the course of the season, defeated Naperville North, who won the state championship. We defeated New Trier, who took second place in state, and we won our conference. We won our sectional for the either 4th or 5th year in a row. And then they played incredibly well at the state tournament, falling 8-6, and the last goal was an empty netter. So really falling by 1 goal to New Trier in the state semifinal, and then coming back 3 hours later to play a Whitney Young team that was very strong, and and we won that game to take home the 3rd place trophy. So I cannot tell you how proud I am of these athletes standing here in front of you, and can't wait to get started again on another season. So thanks again, and congratulations. Also, I'd like to congratulate the girls one more time on a great season.
Thank you. Again, congratulations. What an incredible season. I know it takes a ton of dedication both in and outside of the pool. I wanted to make sure I said pool, not court or field. But great job. Again, impressive finish that it's the best that you've ever done in York's history. So with that, I will read the proclamation. Whereas the York High School boys water polo team demonstrated exceptional skill, determination, and teamwork throughout the 2025 season, earning a place among the elite programs in Illinois by advancing to the IHSA Boys Water Polo State Tournament. And whereas, under the leadership of their dedicated coaching staff, the Dukes displayed resilience and competitive spirit, overcoming challenging opponents and high-pressure situations to reach the semifinals. And whereas on May 24th, 2025, after a hard-fought semifinal matchup, York secured a decisive 9-5 victory over Whitney Young High School in the consolation game, capturing 3rd place in the state and cementing their place among the top teams in Illinois. And whereas this remarkable achievement reflects not only the talent and commitment of the student athletes, but also the steadfast guidance of their coaches, the encouragement of their families, and strong support of the York High School and Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 community, that's a mouthful, and whereas the 2025 York Boys Water Polo team success has brought pride and recognition to the school and district, serving as an inspiring example of what can be accomplished through discipline, dedication, and teamwork. Now, therefore, it will be resolved that the Elmhurst Community School District 205 Board of Education proudly recognizes the 2025 York High School Boys Water Polo team for their outstanding season and 3rd place finish at the IHSA State Tournament, and extends its heartfelt congratulations and appreciation for representing the school and community with excellence both in and out of the pool. Congratulations.
Nothing, Mike Cho. And thank you to the boys water polo team and parents. Thank you for bringing them here, but also supporting them as they continue to develop in their sport. Thank you, and have a good evening. Okay, next item on our agenda is public comments. Now that we've cleared the room, I think it's safe to say that we don't have any public comments on record, and it looks like Ms. Dorner is not interested in addressing the board this evening, so we will skip right on past to approval of board meeting minutes. And so the approval of regular and special board meeting minutes from, it's the approval of regular board meeting minutes from July 29th, 2025. Are there any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, meeting minutes stand as presented. On to item number 7, we're at reports and presentations. Our one report and presentation tonight is one that we have been looking forward to, and this is item A, the tentative budget for 2025-26. And I will turn it over to Mr. Blomquist.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. This presentation outlines the proposed budget for fiscal year 2026. The details of this tentative budget are an extension of much of the conversation that we had at our August 5th Finance and Operations Committee meeting. District 205 has arrived at an exciting and pivotal moment in its storied history. With the final ribbon cutting at Madison Early Childhood Center last Tuesday, we mark the final phase of the 2018 referendum and celebrate the investment that the community has made in providing high-quality environments for all students. In addition to the building improvements, District 205 has enhanced and expanded educational opportunities during this time, from all-day kindergarten to maker spaces and expanded extracurricular offerings. Because of the ever-changing landscape of our world, the district continues to evolve and create high-quality programs and experiences for students to prepare them to be college, career, and life-ready. But it doesn't stop there. It is imperative that as we develop these programs, that we must also ensure the sustainability of these facilities and programs so that all future D205 students benefit from this journey of excellence in District 205. In order to achieve this balance of creating and sustaining, District 205 leaders have developed this tentative budget on 3 key pillars. First, it is critical to structure an annual budget in a way that ensures that expenditures align closely to available revenues to ensure that the district fund balance remains steady. At the same time, it is a critical priority that as revenue sources and expenditure demands fluctuate, that we do everything possible to sustain the high-quality programs and opportunities provided to our students. Finally, the care and upkeep of our recently renovated district facilities is vital in ensuring that the community investment in these facilities is maintained and enhanced for a long time. Before we discuss the tentative budget for this school year, it is important to reflect on the most recent fiscal year as a comparison. This slide shows the budgeted allocations and unaudited results of fiscal year 2025 for the operating funds of the district, which include the Education Fund, Operations and Maintenance Fund, Transportation Fund, IMRF and Social Security Fund, and the Working Cash Fund. As you can see here, the Board of Education adopted a fiscal year 2025 budget with a $12.2 million deficit. This amount included a purposeful investment of $7 million from the district fund balance to support additional scope items related to the referendum. Through careful management of district funds, the actual results yielded a $7.2 million drawdown on the fund balance, which again includes that $7 million intentional investment. The next slides will be providing you with an overview of the major levers and outcomes of the 2026 tentative budget. We will begin with revenues, as these results drive the decision-making on the district's investments in educational and strategic priorities. As you can see from this graphic, the largest amount of district revenues come from local sources. This includes interest income, school fees, and local property taxes. For the purpose of this budget, revenues from property taxes are within the current CPI index of 2.9%. State and federal funding represents 5.9% and 2.9% respectively, which is far below the state average of 23.9% for state funding and 12.2% for federal funding. As district leaders prepared this tentative budget, we closely monitored several areas of revenue that could have an unavoidable impact on the district budget. At the state level, with the most recent budget, which held many funding sources flat despite ongoing inflationary pressures, we anticipate the amount of revenues from these sources to remain steady based on proration rates. We also anticipate that the federal funds, while avoiding dissolution this fiscal year, will remain flat. Finally, with the likelihood of interest rate cuts over the course of the next 12 months, we anticipate that earnings on investments will see a modest dip in revenue. As you can see here, the result of the projected revenues will see a modest increase of about 1.8%. With an increase from local sources of approximately 2.7%, in line with most CPI rates, and you can see that in that red box that you see there. With projected revenues of approximately $170.7 million, district leaders embarked on a thorough review of all expenditure line items, identifying opportunities to capture efficiencies in the system while ensuring the sustainability of programs and facilities. All district funds are invested in providing high-quality environments and experiences for all students. This slide shows you the major funds that comprise the operational funds of the district. As you can see here, 84.4% of the proposed district budget is supporting the education fund, which supports high-quality instruction and programming. Within these operating funds, expenditures are delineated into object categories. The green and blue pieces of the pie represent salaries and benefits, which represent 74% of this tentative budget. As we take a closer look at each of these object types, I want to convey that district leaders have taken critical steps in capturing efficiencies within the budget in order to reduce the stresses on the long-term sustainability of the district fund balance. In the area of salaries, you will be hearing from Dr. Schumacher a little later that we have been able to sustain our high-quality programs this year without any planned increase in staff positions. In addition, district leaders are working carefully to examine and limit the necessity of overtime from our staff, which includes ensuring that positions are filled and that tasks and responsibilities are accomplished within the normal work week. In the area of benefits, the largest impact on these expenditures is in the area of health insurance. As a self-insured employer, a representative committee of school board members, district leaders, insurance specialists, and union leaders are regularly engaging in conversations right now to provide a high-quality health plan while limiting the financial burden on the employees and on the district. Purchase services are a critical component of the work performed in the district. Third parties include our transportation partners, maintenance and construction contractors, and specialized service educational personnel partnerships such as Endeavor Health. One of the greatest impacts on purchase services for this school year is energy costs, which are estimated to increase up to 20%. District leaders will be providing several proposals over the next several months to provide long-term financial savings and reduce volatility for items such as energy costs. Finally, supplies and equipment provide essential materials for student learning and growth. This includes investments in curricular materials as well as facility maintenance and improvements. District leaders are committed to ensuring that all purchasing processes seek to capture the maximum cost benefit for high-quality materials and equipment. The result of all these expenditures in this tentative budget reflects an expenditure total of $168.3 million, which represents an increase of about 3.6%. And I understand because this slide is a little small to read from afar, we have provided a handout for everybody here at the table. The numbers presented here today prioritize all of these pillars that I mentioned earlier. The revenues and expenditures seek a balance of using available funds with an intentional focus on investing in students while increasing efficiencies of costs that are more removed from the learning environment. The overall result of this proposed budget shows an increase of 1.6% of revenues from unaudited actuals and a 3.6% increase in expenditures from unaudited actuals. In addition to these proposed operating revenues and expenditures, district administration advises the Board of Education to continue its commitment to the ongoing maintenance and enhancement of its facilities with an annual $4 million transfer to the Capital Projects Fund, which will be used to support life safety and building improvement projects for the summer of 2026. This budget also includes our annual transfer of funds for capital lease costs of $1.7 million, which supports the district's technology needs, such as student devices. This budget does remove the 3 times annual $7 million transfer for additional scope of the referendum, as last year was the final investment into that initiative. I am pleased to report that beyond the removal of the additional scope transfer, that this proposed budget has reduced the budget deficit almost $2.5 million compared to last fiscal year's budget. And just to outline a little bit about our timeline, today is when we are presenting this tentative budget. It goes on display tomorrow for any member of the public. They can come into the district office and view our tentative budget, which contains not only all of the materials that you see here, but it is reduced into the Illinois state budget form so they can see it in the state statutory form. After that, we will have it as an agenda item on September 10th, along with any minor changes that might have happened since then. And then finally, it will be brought on September 23rd for final adoption by the Board of Education. At this time, I'll turn it over to Mrs. Arvanites.
Thank you. Questions, comments from the board?
Just for the community awareness, we had a very in-depth, as Joe mentioned, conversation about the budget at the last Finance Committee meeting. This, when you see this on the consent agenda item tonight that we're going to approve, this is just to get it to the public for 30 days. This is not voting on the budget. I just want to make that clarification because we will also have, like Joe mentioned, September 10th to have any further discussions about this budget in the next Finance Committee meeting, which is a great thing. That's what committee meetings are for. So, and Joe will learn to be afraid of them, but no. Hopefully it'll be a little shorter this time. But yes, no, but that's all. Thank you very much.
Dr. Henry?
Just a quick question. On the revenue area, we talked about like the stability of the state and federal revenue, but I do notice that that's still like a $1.2 million decrease from last year, if I'm doing math correctly. Just wonder if you could speak to why we're seeing a decrease in revenue from those sources.
Yeah, thank you for that question. One of the major levers in terms of federal revenues is last year we received the final of the ESSER payments. So that was factored into last year's revenue. Those are no longer available to any school districts, so we reduced that. At the state level, We are going to see, we anticipate seeing a reduction in some of our categorical payments, which would be our transportation claim. We anticipate that to be prorated at a lower percentage, as well as reimbursement for out-of-district tuition.
I just have a couple clarifying questions also, and I think I know the answer, but of course, putting it in the room to make sure that we know what we're talking about here. When we look at the other financial sources and uses, you have that negative 5.441 million. Is that the $4 million of CapEx plus the 1.7 million lease agreements that the board has directed in the past to come from fund balance?
You are spot on with that, $4 million for the capital projects and the capital leases.
Okay, thank you. And thank you to Courtney for referring back to finance, because we did have really fruitful discussion there. Another point that came out of that discussion that I'd like to remind us about here is also that the fund balance as percentage of expenditure, so that bottom number there, that 29 to 26, that I think we heard in finance that the recommendation from experts and consultants and yourself would be, a comfort level of around 30 to 35% is what we would be targeting or looking for, yeah?
Absolutely, that is our ideal target.
Thank you.
And I did want to follow up. You mentioned about the transfers, and you mentioned 5.4 million, which made me look back down to make sure. I did want to highlight there's another transfer in there that hasn't existed, and it's in the opposite direction. This is one of those efficiencies that we've identified that we can capture. All interest that we earn in all funds can be invested directly into the education of our students. And so we're going to take advantage of that by moving the interest from all of our funds into the operating funds so that we can make sure that we maximize the learning experiences that our students receive.
Great, so that's why that transfer was 5.4, not 5.7.
Correct.
Very good. Great. Anything else from the board? Okay, thank you so much. This was great, and I do want to say that this was very easy to read, and I'm just thankful that you were able to compile this in a way that was consumable for us and our community. So thank you for the presentation and the organization of the information. Okay. With that, we will move on to our consent agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to pull from our consent agenda? Seeing nothing to be pulled, can we have a motion for the consent agenda, please? It doesn't have to automatically be you. It could be anyone. I'll do it. I think I found it. I move that the Board of Education approve the following consent agenda items: A, personnel report; B, financial report; C, FOIA, Freedom of Information Act requests; D, approve Board of Education 2025 joint annual conference expenses; E, authorization for public display of fiscal year 25 tentative budget; F, special education agency contracts; G, consent to utilize authorized signature stamp for contract approval. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion made by yours truly, Athena, second by Ms. Lewinsky. Can we please call the vote?
Ms. Arvanites?
Yes.
Ms. Lewinsky?
Yes.
Dr. Henry?
Yes.
Mrs. Hostler?
Yes.
Mrs. Assif?
Yes.
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes.
Mr. Bresnahan?
6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. Motion passes. We'll move on now to the agenda action items. Item A is the affirmation of District Life Safety Survey, and I think I'm going back to Mr. Blomquist for that.
I feel like it's the Joe Show today.
It rhymes.
So we discussed this also at the August 5th board, the Finance and Operations Committee meeting. This is a 10-year life safety survey that the architects embark on and identify work items that either must be taken care of or are recommended to be taken care of. As part of the process, this Board of Education needs to affirm those work items, and then we submit it to the regional superintendent.
Sorry, thank you. Can we have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education affirm and approve the application for approval of the 10-year safety survey report as submitted.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Hostler, second by Mrs. Assaf. Are there any comments from the board? Again, just to reiterate, oh, sorry,
No,
go
sorry,
ahead,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And I think we talked about this, and I appreciate all the attachments with the breakdown by the schools and by the categories. I'm just wondering if when I think they'll still come up during the committee meeting in September, if we can get an idea of how many of these life safety items would normally be included in our summer capital projects, the $4 million that we're putting out there. Because I know we have replaced boilers in the past, and I've saw that on many of the schools, that needs to be done in the future. So I'm just wondering how many of those items that are on those lists would have been included in the past in the summer capital projects, or are there projects that are scheduled for summer of '26 that are on the life safety list? So if we can kind of see the crossover, it would be helpful.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mr. Kresge and I will make sure that we work that into our agenda item.
Awesome. Thank you.
And so again, it might be a little disconnected for anyone who's following it at home. There was a great conversation at our finance committee, about health, life, safety, and the survey, what was found, what needs to be done and when, and even this whole process that we go through with the state approving, and this being the first step of the state approving our survey, and then next steps after that. So please refer to that finance committee if you are interested in learning more about the affirmation of district life safety survey. Any other comments from the board? Can we call the vote?
Mrs. Hostler,
Yes.
Mrs. Assaf,
Yes.
Mrs. Troutman,
Yes.
Mrs. Slawinski,
Yes.
Dr. Henry,
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanites,
Yes.
Mr. Bresnahan.
6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. Motion passes. Item 10, we're cruising here. Superintendent communication. I'll turn it over to Dr. Campbell.
We are now in our second week of school for the 25-26 school year, and we are excited to welcome our students and our families back this year. I've asked my colleagues to share 2 updates with our Board of Education and our community. First update is going to come from Dr. Schumacher, who is going to just give a brief overview of our staffing, and then I've asked Ms. Daniels to share some poignant key ideas that went out in the email to families, and want to just provide some friendly reminders as we start our school year. So Dr. Schumacher.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Campbell. I'm happy to update the board tonight with a few quick stats on our current fill rates as we start the school year, as we've done the last few school years here in August. Several factors contribute to low staff vacancy counts in school systems, but largely it is truly indicative of a strong organizational culture and attractive broader community. After collaborating on allocations, Mr. Blomquist referenced across our employee groups our intent to stay staffing neutral across those groups while maintaining programs and services and ensuring that students are set up for success. Administrators and supervisors have worked since early spring to hire educators and support personnel that add to our talent in District 205. I'd like to highlight 4 specific groups tonight. For our certified group, which is by far our largest employee group, we have only 1 current vacancy in our system, with actually a fill plan to be fully staffed in that area. Our school and district leaders are excited in particular for our 53 new educators to shine truly in their new positions, and we'll continue to support them throughout the school year. Educational assistants, this group is within our PSRP employee group. We know that our educational assistants are essential to the student services team as well as our school teams. We continue to see less vacancies year to year, with this group and are currently 91% staffed. This is a 6% improvement compared to last year at this time. And in addition, and as a result, we continue to limit and minimize use of agency personnel, with 9 less compared to last school year. And while we appreciate the service from external providers, our shared goal is to be fully staffed in our PSRP employee group. Of note, all but one of the providers approved tonight are filling a leave of absence, not an open position. And as a reminder to the board, as soon as a qualified applicant is identified to fill a role as an employee or substitute, we discontinue the agency arrangement. For maintenance and custodial, we are 96.5% staffed with 2 FTE to fill. Their services are critical to our objective of high-quality learning environments and facilities. And finally, a special mention to our district substitutes. Their part of the puzzle in schools ensures learning continues each day. Last year at this time, we had 128 and have increased to 162 subs in our system. So in closing for this highlight, we will continue to collectively work at attracting, selecting, and retaining high-quality, purpose-driven educators and staff, and we do thank the board for your support.
Thanks, Joe. So as Dr. Campbell mentioned, we are in the second week of school, and we were excited to start and welcome our students and families back. On August 6th, we shared a communication through Parent Square with all of our families, but there were a couple of things in there that I wanted to bring attention to and make sure that everybody saw. Starting this year, there were some schools that did a pilot of this last year, but this year in Power School, you can now enter an absence. And you can report an absence online through the Power School parent portal. This feature sends your submission directly to the school office while still allowing you to call if that is your preference. Families can report absences for today or the next school day, and all submissions are sent directly to the school office. The next thing that we're excited to share is our partners at First Student have launched an app called First View. This GPS-based mobile app allows families to see their student's bus in real time and receive notifications when it is approaching. Some of the new features include the ability to see the bus location and estimated arrival time. To get alerts when the bus is close to your stop, you can set up to 3 different notifications for your bus, or you can share updates with caregivers and family members if you need assistance in picking up your child from the bus stop. You can also download that app from your app store corresponding to your phone. And then finally, we did create, again this year, our important dates graphic. This shares the late starts, the winter and spring, and winter, spring, and Thanksgiving breaks, and then all of our late arrivals. And already on there, your graduation, May 17th. So you can learn more about these by going back into Parent Square and looking at the email that was sent on August 6th, and I will also link that email in tonight's board highlights. And I will go straight into the communications highlight, where, as JB mentioned in his update, we opened the newly remodeled Madison Early Childhood Center. We had an opportunity to join most of you there to cut the ribbon, and it was a great opportunity. We had, I think, probably one of the highest turnouts that we've had at our schools, and it was really exciting, and I'm happy to share this video recap of the ribbon cutting and the opening of the school.
We are here because of them. Thank you to our community for providing the resources for them. Thank you to our staff and teachers, all of our Madison staff, assistants, put our hands together for our amazing Madison team.
On behalf of the Board of Education, I'm proud to be here today to deliver the final product of our 5-year referendum plan and officially open this highly improved new state-of-the-art early childhood center for our students and the entire Madison community.
I'm thrilled to imagine the incredible things that are going to be happening in this building with it being such a wonderful space, specially designed for students. From everything was so thoughtfully planned from the time that we got started with everything to where we are now, with bathrooming, with everything being sized appropriately for the kids. So without that all happening, we wouldn't be where we are right now with such an amazing space for the kids. And looking around, I can't help but be amazed at this accomplishment that we all did together.
This is our why, and we continue to do what we need to do in order to ensure that we provide an excellent, outstanding educational experience for all of our students, regardless of what leg they're in this relay race called the Journey of Excellence.
Is that it? Oh, I didn't want to go too early. Thank you, Tanya, for that video. Very cute way to highlight a really important, I think, milestone and moment for the district and really the Board of Education and our community to celebrate the final project of a long project that took a lot of time and effort, commitment, adaptability, flexibility, responsiveness, right? I mean, everything that we work with students, I think, in a K through 12 and Little Duke through Transition Center environment to build, we probably experienced throughout the last 5 years. So a big thank you to our community. What a great place we're in when it comes to our facilities today. Having the ability to renovate Madison, have 2 brand new buildings in our community, and then also enhance and upgrade every building throughout the district with this referendum project. So a great culminating video for a tremendous amount of work that was put forth by this administrative team, prior administrative teams, prior board members, current board members, and most importantly, our community. So thank you so much for putting that together. Really appreciate the thoughtfulness behind that. And I think that's it for for superintendent communications. All right, we'll move on to board communications. One board member update to present a report and share information to the full board. I'll turn over to Dr. Henry.
Great. Just a quick update about the insurance committee. So we had our last meeting on August 7th. It was a long but very productive and collaborative meeting. We were working together to look at cost-saving solutions that without affecting the quality of healthcare for our employees. We're looking at plan design, pharmacy carve-out, GLP-1 changes, and dental changes. We do have another meeting coming up tomorrow afternoon, and our hope is to bring a recommendation to the board for the September meeting. So more to come. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think you did a great job. Perfect. Okay. All right. With any other board communication? I don't think so, but okay. We'll move to upcoming meetings. September 3rd, 2025, we have a policy committee meeting at 5:30 p.m. September 10th, 2025, we have a finance and operations meeting at 5:30 p.m. And then September 23rd, 2025, we have our regular Board of Education meeting at 7 p.m. All 3 meetings are here at District 205 Center in these rooms, 215, 16, and 17. And with that, we will adjourn this meeting at 7:54 p.m.